Oh my gosh, guys, I can not believe that I'm doing episode 1 of season 2 of Little Life, Big Loss. I'm probably going to cry, as I always do, but if you watched season 1 of Little Life, Big Loss was heavily interviewing lost parents about their story of losing their child. And we would start at conception and work all the way through. And sometimes our episodes were going really long. How do you stop somebody from telling their story from beginning to end? Today, well, when I finished up Little Life Big Loss season 1, I was pregnant with Huey. And I cannot believe I'm here now, being able to start season 2 with my beautiful little baby in the lounge room. I will do an episode next with how everything went and all of the other parts of that journey. But today is a really special episode, and it's kind of come about very quickly. There are an incredible group of women. There are an incredible group of humans, parents, mums and dads, trying to create change in the stillbirth space. And because Millie was a neonatal loss, I am so not up to date with everything that's going on in this space. And I got added into a group this week, and I found an incredible couple who lost their beautiful daughter Celeste 23 years ago and haven't stopped trying to create change in all that time. And I, for one, was just thinking, oh my word, I don't know anything that they're talking about. And even though I lost my baby, I don't know the statistics that they're talking about. And within this group over the last weekend, I'm watching all of these things come through, and I'm like overwhelmed by the amount of information. And I suggested, why don't we just do a podcast where we can just put all of this information from this incredible company, by these incredible people, this incredible couple, to show exactly what they're doing and what they're trying to create. There is a petition that we want signatures for, but what above all of that, I think they have so much education that they can teach us, not just the lost parents, but the babies that haven't passed yet, the people that haven't experienced this loss yet. And so we are doing this episode today as the first episode of season 2, which again, if you listen to season 1, I said I wanted to do season 2 of like where are they now? What are these people doing in this space of baby loss that are helping to create change? But also what I hadn't thought of was, what have people created already to help us lost parents? These people are trying to create something to help people that haven't even lost their babies yet, because they're trying to change the statistics. They're trying to change the things that haven't even happened yet. Stillbirth can be preventable. And so I said to Tim, who's the incredible man who's going to speak with us today, I wouldn't even do justice doing an introduction to him. So we're going to start first with a little snippet of a beautiful documentary that he and his wife have created. We're going to show you that trailer, and then Tim is going to talk through with you for the next 35, 40, 45 minutes on what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how you can help to create this change. Here's the trailer.
The more people that come out with their story, the more society will realise how big this issue actually is. I think I'm going to learn really how strong I can be.
When we lost our daughter 23 years ago, Celeste, we were quite alone, and I want to create so much awareness, and I thought running a long way, I could do that through a lot of communities.
1,000 Ks over a period of 20 days.
Adelaide to Port Melbourne, you want to try to raise $1 million.
That's a long way to run.
Well, everybody's expectations are they going to walk out of the hospital with a healthy baby? But it's not the case.
The rate of stillbirth in Australia hasn't changed for about 20 years, and we've only been keeping records for about 20 years. 2,200 babies a year will die because of stillbirth. That's 6 babies a day.
You are not guaranteed to have a baby in life or have a child in life. That is not a guarantee like people think it is. But I want to change that.
goodness me, that makes me so emotional watching that. It is so true. We're not guaranteed to bring our babies home. And so from the bottom of my heart, Tim, I thank you so much for coming on and doing this podcast with me today. I am I'm already inspired by what you and your wife are doing. But I'm just going to open the floor to you now. Take it away.
Thank you. Yes, it's a hard start. That is, we always put that in. It starts me emotionally, so it takes you about 30 seconds to calm down. But yes, thank you. And the more people that start talking about stillbirth, the better it is for everybody. As we know, what we use is always trying to break breaking the silence of stillbirth. That was just one of our mottos we used. But as we were talking earlier, there's so many groups in Australia that are in this club that go into the birthing room. Some go out the happy door, and some go out the stillbirth club door, which is affects them for life. So they're the people that are usually in this club that need education on how we can help other people. And that's what we, as you said, that's what we want to do. We want to bring these statistics down, which they are preventable, 20 to 30% preventable, by doing some simple things through education. Most of the work is done at the other end, which is the grievance, and helping people get through this. And that's a lifelong thing. But the conveyor belt of life, we need to slow the people down going through that door of unhappiness. So we can stop 20 to 30% of people going through that. And, it's just, it's about 550 people a year that we could save. The big statistics, if you look at the big stats, it's every 19 seconds there's a stillbirth in the world. It's nearly 2 million babies a year. And if you said 20 to 30% of that is 350,000 lives a year worldwide. And in Australia, the statistics are reasonably good compared to the rest of the world. Some countries are even worse. And some of our indigenous population, just bringing that up so you can just see the reduction of that. So in, Australia-wide, 2,200, if you look at the lower side of that 20%, it's 455 reduction on that. And worldwide, as you can see, look at what can happen worldwide if you look at that. And the conservative figure of 20%, it is conservative if we start acting and educating people now. So there's things within the stillbirth, the stuff we've learned since we've been in this space, working with people from the CRE in Brisbane, working with the Stillbirth Foundation in Sydney. We've learnt so much, and that's why we made the documentary. And going back to the documentary, Michelle, we've been raising money for stillbirth for many years. We've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that goes into research. The reason we're doing it is about awareness, to get the people, as I said a bit earlier, people in the club already know what it's like. It's telling people outside we're saving their children's children. They don't know about it yet. It's like going back in a time machine, that we are saving lives of people that they don't even know. And that is the hardest part for humans to understand. Most people don't care, don't give a shit about everything else. Humans are very selfish people. And until they're hit in the face with something that is very confronting, they won't do anything about it. And saying to someone that you might be touched with stillbirth, it's something that people don't want to know about. So we have to put something together that makes it easy for them to, accept what we're going to do. So that's where we were. Michelle decided she likes to do runs, and we were in a cafe one day, and she passed me this little note. She said, "We need to make a difference." Whew. And Hold on. And she said, I'm going to run 1,000 kilometers for this. And I'm going to try and raise $100,000. And I thought, no, we need to go big. If we're going to do something, we need to make a big impact on changing people's lives. So that's where we decided to make a documentary. I said, we are going to do something big. We're going to, we employed this media team to help us film and document this. And it did get reach. 600,000 people watched our story. So we started the journey of when Michelle wanted to do it. We wanted to start on her birthday, which was November the 1st. We got a media team ready. She started all of her training, and anybody can watch this. The story is available. Go onto our onto our website. It is available worldwide now through Vimeo. Watch the trailer first, which you've just done. It's 70 minutes of the whole story, and it's which took us 2 years to put together. When we started it, it's not cheap to do this thing. To get a media team, we had 3 people, Ash, Justin, and Ozzy. That the only way to get into this space is through media. You look at all these small groups around. But you look at what we've done. We've got a big group together now. You've got 100,000 views of a video, and that is the scale that we're looking for. Even though that's still small inside the 27 million people that should be knowing about this. So we wanted to make sure we wanted to get some good media coverage on it to start educating those people and helping them have a healthy baby. And not understanding about what they're going to go through soon, the stuff that we've been going through. So that awareness was our target to do. We know the research is going on. There's research going on through amazing people. The research, the National Stillbirth Campaign or thing that's covered by the government, the money runs out the end of this year. And that's where it was pledged that they would get down to 20 to 30% of stillbirths, but that hasn't been achieved. As you've seen the latest figures that came out. They've gone backwards. So all that shows is that the awareness is not out there, and it clearly isn't out there. You've seen it. It's in small groups, and it's the same groups talking to each other. It's all the people that have been affected by it. We don't want to talk to them. We want to help them. But the people we need to talk to are the people that we need to save, that we don't want to have this experience. That is our goal of awareness, education to start. The only way we're going to get the 20 to 30% down is through education, similar to what SIDS was. SIDS was 1,200 a year. That's basically eradicated now. We can do it, but it's about doing it at a national level. There's everybody out there living in their silos. They're all doing great things, but it's within the stillbirth affected people. We need to break outside that and educate other people. And that's the only way we can do that is through scale and through the government. And that was our target. So we started Michelle's run. We did through the regional areas in South Australia. The stories, the people, the communities we met were absolutely incredible. But they're the grieving people, and the educated people were the people that were coming to the pubs. We were in Kingston, and the whole town came out. They had a bogan bingo night. $2,500 later, standing ovation, off we went. And that was town to town through that. We ended up in Warrnambool. The same there. The people that got behind this, where we were, but we can't do this alone. it's impossible for us to just keep doing a roadshow. It takes a toll on you. It costs you money. We threw in $120,000 of our own money to make the documentary, to do this, to say, but what is one life worth? I'm sure everybody would say, I will give anything to save my child's life. And it's difficult to say that when it hasn't happened to them. But if we can come up with enough campaigns which people can relate to, the stories they hear, things like this, that then they can talk to other people. It's just it shouldn't be a taboo subject. It's saving lives. We get on aeroplanes, they tell you you're going to die if you don't do this and you don't do that. This is the same thing. All we're trying to do is just to tell people these are the simple things you need to do. Thinking about getting pregnant, it will help them get through and have a safer baby at the end of it. So,
and Tim, what are the things though? Because even I saw one of the girls post the other day, and I felt it was so powerful. It said, "We're feared about listeria. Do not eat XYZ while you're pregnant," and yet the statistics of that are way, 1 in 10,000 people. It's literally almost rare to get it in Australia, and yet the statistics of stillbirth are 1 in 200. So, what are the preventable things that people can do to prevent?
So, and again, it's not a new thing. Stillbirth's been around since life started. And it's only through education that we can actually stop these things happening. So you've got the generic things what will happen. This is what we've learned through talking to all the clinicians, all the professors. If they watch the movie, there's some great items in that. I really urge people to watch it. The clinicians, the professors, all the people doing the amazing work around this country. But the Safer Baby Bundle is a thing that everybody should know about. It's when we first were introduced to this, you can see it was used in the UK a lot. It is rolled out in postcodes and states in this country, and tests it has proven to actually work. So the CRE, they've done a lot of work on this, but it's only rolled out in certain areas where it should be rolled out all over Australia. It should be a national rollout, and I understand it. If it's structured correctly, it's like slip, slop, slap. It's don't sleep on your side. Same as that. So if people can go onto the website and have a look at the Safer Baby Bundle, and what we'd love to do is have one central point, which is government driven, to say, here's your safe haven for stillbirth. Because people do websites. They put links to them. They could be outdated. It could be misinformation. But if we have one central, and the government are brilliant at doing this, because it's about people pointing them in the right direction to say, okay, stillbirth, here we go. Here's all the contact details for grievance to help people through it. But here's also the information to help you have a safer baby, which is the Safer Baby Bundle. There's an app that's developed as well, measuring fetal movements. But these are the things that we need to push to make available for everybody. I've got a heart
and because
on my...
Sorry, and because the information out there is so confusing, because I know when I was pregnant with Millie, I was told about fetal movements, and yet I went in so many times with reduced fetal movements or no fetal movements, and I kept getting told she was fine, it's your first pregnancy, you don't know what to feel for, you have an anterior placenta. She came out with no muscles and she couldn't move, and my daughter died a week later. So I knew that I had to measure fetal movements. I was telling them I didn't have any, and then I was gaslit to believe that I was wrong. And so it's so hard to know what the correct information is. So in that group the other day, some of the girls were saying like, well, why don't we just like, don't worry about the government and we'll just do it ourselves. But I love what you're saying is that if it is a government funded, you know, it's here, this is the information and this is the statistics and this is why we're saying it, then we can follow that. And I loved that you guys also gave the you know, the statistics on SIDS of what it used to be and what it is now. And I know that, again, when I was pregnant with Millie, I was already going to the Red Nose website to look at safe sleeping. I was already, okay, how can I protect my child once she's here? But with what you guys are trying to do is, well, let's protect the child before it's even here to make sure it gets here safely. And so that's what really grabbed my attention in what you guys are doing, because when you're pregnant, yes, a lot of us have anxiety, whether we've had loss or not. As mothers, we're carrying life and we're anxious and we're nervous, but we want to do all the right things. But how do we know what all the right things are?
And that's where you've got to place the trust in the clinicians, the researchers that are being paid to do this, the experts in it. You know, there's the CRE Centre, there's the Stillbirth Foundation of Australia, where all that information is available. And again, if it was made available, and the government website, go onto that, they have some amazing things. But if we can give a central spot that what the statistics really are, you know, how it can be prevented, the Safer Baby Bundle. If people, and there's a lot of people around doing different things with leaflets. So leaflets go out to, say, the Indigenous community in the different languages. It's a big thing because we're quite a diverse country here. But if you have a central point for, you know, what do you need to know about stillbirth? How can I have a safer baby? Things like that. And that's what we need to educate people, give them somewhere to go to get the right information. And also it's the information is one thing, but it's also the education of the people as well. Giving a leaflet out doesn't usually work. People will just put the leaflet down. It's how they're told to do this. It's like the Safer Baby Bundle. You know, what do I do? There's videos out there. There's lots of information to help people go through this. How can I get a safer baby? Brilliant. There we go. So the Safer Baby Bundle, and there's the Stillbirth Centre of Excellence through there. These are the things where people need to go. And, you know, this here is, and it's proved to be successful in there. You know, watch the movie, watch the people we've interviewed at the CRE, what work they're doing. There's lots and lots of information there. So, and all the links.
Amazing.
So it's pointing people in the right direction. It's navigating your life. And a lot of people say, oh, go and have a look at this, give it this. And we don't want misinformation. It needs to be the right information that will help them, because they don't want a bad experience. They've got one chance of this. You know, misinformation will not help people, or this happened. It needs to be, this is what is available. This is what you need to do. And if we had a national campaign from the government that, you know, I've sat down with the health minister in South Australia, Chris Picton. I've spoken to the SA preventative minister, many discussions with the government. We've been part of the investigation into stillbirth within South Australia. But that's just South Australia. It needs to be Australia. It's a national level. Everybody will do different things at different level, postcode, state. If it's done nationally, it's one message. And it needs to go out for not a short time. It needs to be running in the background, because people are having babies every day. And 6 babies are dying every day. You know, and we need to reduce that. And this country is not that bad compared to the rest of the world. But when it hits you, that is your world. That is it. So these are the things that we've been working on. We will continue to work on. Getting a group like yourselves is is amazing, and we see lots of groups like yourselves. I'm part of lots of different groups where we need to bring those silos together and work as one massive team. The voices can't be heard in, we've got 100,000 views, which is amazing. It's an amazing video, met some amazing people, and we've amplified it, but we haven't amplified it enough, because some people that are stillbirth today won't even know some of these things. That's why we have to roll it out nationally. Everybody needs to understand what they're going into when they're having a baby. And bringing these groups together, sharing the same information again is good, to say, yes, we all, but it's educating the smaller groups. I go into lots of these small groups, I infiltrate them and try and educate them, but I can't educate everybody. It's very difficult. It's very time consuming.
Yeah.
I've, thousands and thousands of emails, spoken to thousands of people, and it can't be done by this one by one. It needs to be done huge scale. So we need to put that, like the billboards, we put those billboards out in Queensland. It needs to be in lights. But if it's a strategically done plan by the government, they know what needs to be done. It needs to be a commitment and money. But if you look at what money's involved, over the last 5 years, it's cost the government, say, 650 million in looking after the grieving parents. That can be reduced. If you reduce that by 20 to 30%, you're saving, say, 500 babies a year. You're reducing those costs by hundreds of millions of dollars that's paid for that campaign. And you've got happier people. And it reduces the pressure on the health system, that those people can be freed up to doing something else. So there's the economic benefits. It's crazy. So, and there is so much pressure on hospital resources, as you can see here. Smart policies save lives and money, and we can't be ignorant to not accept these types of things. There's lots of things going on in the world. There's lots of things going on in Australia. But if, I come from big industry as my background. If you have a problem and you have a solution, you'll fix it immediately, because it's about profit. Stillbirth doesn't make any profit.
Mm-hmm.
There's no drugs involved. There's no drug companies involved. So no one's going to profit from this. So there's 6 babes every day. And we can reduce that through education. Education costs, and no one's benefiting from it. But we are really benefiting from it. People are we're saving lives, and we're saving money, and we're not putting that pressure. But these are kind of hidden things. It's like going back and saying, I'm going to save your baby's lives because I'm going to educate you so you don't go through this journey. It's hard. Preventable things, or trying to tell people about preventable ways to make their lives different, until they're hit with the sledgehammer in the middle of the head, it's like, I wish I'd have known this. So we don't want hindsight. And foresight will save lives.
What's that, sorry?
This hindsight is an incredible thing, but foresight will save people's lives. And we have a foresight that if we put this into place, all these safety things, national campaigns, it will help us. But we need to do it. We need to start measuring. The data currently is probably about 3 years behind. So it's not again, in big industry, if you don't have real-time data, you can't make good decisions. So the data needs to be brought up to date, so we know what's working and what's not working. But the trials that have been done, watch the movie, you can see the CRE, the work they've done. They have seen success from some of the stuff they do. So what we need to do is, again, expand this out into a big trial. The big trial is the 27 million people. We don't need to do it in pockets of people. You're not going to get the results from that. If we educate the whole of Australia, once it's like SIDS. We educated
Yeah.
everybody in Australia about SIDS, and the campaign needs to keep going. You can't just go in and out. Stillbirth goes on every day. That doesn't come in and out. It'd be great if it did. But if we have a campaign just continually running in the background, let's see the results from it and watch the numbers go down. Currently, the lag
And so
is too long.
I want to say two things. So yesterday I went on to download it because I wanted to watch it before I spoke to you. And I think you can rent it and you can buy it. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, on Vimeo, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I think I did both. I think I rented and I bought it, and then I couldn't download it. So if we can, in the background, kind of show how to do that best, that was probably a me thing. Then I definitely want to watch that, and I definitely want to lead anyone that's listening to this podcast right now to go on and rent your documentary, to be educated by the sounds of it, and or buy it. And the second thing is, so what is the next steps and what are we doing? And is this why we're petitioning for signatures? What will, if people can go on and, okay, we're going to show here now to watch the documentary.
So there's the website, and that is linked to the Vimeo platform. So if you just click on the video, so go back to that, watch the documentary, click on that, you click on the movie itself, just on that, then you can then go on to rent the video or buy the video, watch the trailer, which you've done already, and that is it.
Yeah.
That is available worldwide, and that was the best platform we could do. We were trying to get it onto Netflix or some of the bigger people, but they want to buy the movie off you. So it's very difficult to do that. So Vimeo is the best one. They take 10% out of us, but people are sharing it now. But the only way that we can get people to watch that is through podcasts like this, to understand it's there. People have to.
Well, if that's where the education is on it. Sorry, if that's where the education is, then let's go, let's download it. And for me, I was like, cool, I'm going to pay for this because I'm sure the money's going to good things and I'm going to learn from it. But also, I wanted to watch your story. I'm so inspired by what you guys are doing, and what I love and what makes me so emotional is that your loss was 23 years ago, and that it reminds me that, like, in 23 years, I'll still be fighting for Millie because I only lost Millie 2 years ago. And, seeing you emotional so far along your journey is actually a beautiful thing, because I was actually at a party on the weekend, and if I was holding Huey, and I had a lot of girls coming up to me, oh, is he your first? No, he's my second. Actually, my firstborn died. And my best friend actually said to me, she said, I can't believe your grief is still so heavy 2 years on. And I thought, isn't that such a strange concept that people can't understand? Like, my daughter died 2 years ago, and here you are 23 years on doing such incredible things and getting emotional because your daughter died. Like, the grief is there, the emotion is there forever. And so for people that aren't in our shitty circle, they don't get it. But as soon as I saw that I could buy your documentary, I loved that, because I know you're doing good things with it. And now that you're teaching me that it's an educational piece as well, even more reason for people to go to it and learn. And so, aside from people downloading the documentary and buying it and doing that part, what is the next steps that we can do to help you guys elevate what you're trying to do? Why are we signing this petition, and what is the goal from that?
Okay, so a little bit behind the petition itself. So I'm a very determined person. I don't give up, and I was going to all the politicians. Went to Albanese. You start at the top to say, right, this is what needs to be done. Then it goes down to the health minister, Butler, and it goes round in circles. So that went round in circles for a long time. I spoke to Michelle's run. We got South Australian government involved because they were very good. So Chris Picton, the South Australian Minister for Health, he came out and started Michelle's run. So that started a relationship with the government. And I knew that I had to build up a relationship with the government somewhere to just keep chipping at them. Then we got involved with the South Australian investigation into stillbirth, which we're a part of, which we'll be presenting hopefully next week. It was meant to be yesterday, but there was a reshuffle in the cabinet. So that's where it started. And I'm knocking all these politicians' doors and getting all these letters back of rejection, and this is here, we're doing this, we're doing something about it. But these letters meant nothing. Absolutely, they were just like fob off letters. And I thought, I'm not going to take this. I spoke to, again, continued to knock on the doors. And I thought, how am I going to get this round this? You know, the one I wrote to Albanese, that just got put down. Thank you for this. It's always a nice thank you. We're doing something in this space. And they're not doing something in this space because the numbers are getting worse. But it's election. It was election time, so everybody's busy about protecting their jobs. They have a special committee for the e-petitions. I had to put a formal request in for it, so I put the request in for it right at the start when the national changing government was about place. So that slowed down everything. So the government basically ceases to continue through that period. So nothing was happening because they're all in this honeymoon period, working on getting votes for the next election. So it just sat there, and I'm writing back to them. Then suddenly they had a sitting in the e-petition committee, and it got accepted. We'll get back to you shortly. This was back in May when it started. Then suddenly I got the approval and it was out, and you're given 30 days, which we know about. So the 30 days ends tomorrow at 9:59 p.m. So the minimum for that is like 50. And I'm sure you've all looked the amount of petitions on there. You see some ridiculous petitions getting hundreds of thousands of votes, which is pretty amazing. You think, why is this happening? Why is no one interested in saving babies' lives? But okay, that's why we're doing it. And the votes, as you know, we got 1,000 there, and nothing was happening. And it was very disheartening for us to see this, because I'd gone out to our inner circle, outer circle, everybody we know, with nothing. And we were getting massive hits on all of our websites, all of our socials, but the conversion ratio was nothing, 1%. So people were just flicking past this and saying, oh yeah, 6 babies are dying, you want to do this petition? Next, please. The people that were signing it were the people that were probably affected in the old shitty old club. So then you guys got on board. It's been elevated. We get some more media on it. I spoke to Paul Murray. He's been through the stillbirth issues. I spoke to everybody I know in the media. The media got behind us. So we will get some more media. I saw the news.com we got. But once this is completed on Sunday, then it goes to the House of Representatives. So if people want to know a bit more detail about it, they can go to the petition. Hopefully, they're all going to sign it, and they can be nosy. There is a process within the government of what actually happens. So basically, we are circumventing. Oh, this is great. So you'll see the link to the petition, and you'll go to the government website where there's lots, again, government websites, they have lots and lots of good information. You can see all the other live petitions around there. You can see what petitions have been in place, and you can find out what happens. So what will happen, and again, the e-petition really circumvents the politicians, because I wasn't getting any help from them. So we're then petitioning the government because we're not getting answers from them, or no one's helping. Like Mark Butler, he should have said, okay, I'm going to help you, we're going to do something about it. Or what they did, they sent us a letter. We have the National Stillbirth Campaign, which they're doing, runs out. They show, you can see what's being done within the government. But when you ask them about, okay, what's happening in the next few years, there's nothing there. Everybody has been working. Like if you look at the CRE, all the work they've done, their money or the funds will run out. So they've done all this great work. We've got all these results, and we've got all these tools that can help us all now, but they're not rolling it out. And that's what we intend to do. So the petition will then go to the House of Representatives. It will be presented to Parliament to say, this is what we want to do. I want to personally go there to get, I'd love a group of us to go to Canberra to say, you know, we are here to talk to the government. Here's our petition. Here's what we need. They know what we need as far as, because if they say, okay, what do you want us to do? We need a national campaign to educate people. They need more money for the research side as well, because I know the people in Brisbane, the CRE, they need more funds to finish off their work. They put a document into the federal government, I think it's about for nearly $20 million. And this was all the work they need to continue their work on, for the next 5 years. But that got rejected. So things like this are incredible, that we go so far and stop. We've got so much information now. We've got so much knowledge that now we have to roll this out at a national level on education. Once people understand stillbirth and what can be done to prevent it, they might take an interest in the other work as well. They might take an interest in fundraising, again, to keep things going. Because people fundraise, basically, you see all these little groups doing it, but they don't get the support. We know a girl that's just done a duathlon all around Australia and hardly any support, which is crazy. And she's given all that time to do that. But you can take that out, do something at the national level and tell everybody the job's done. People don't have to suffer to get attention. And we have all these groups all around Australia suffering. And they're suffering in silence. That is what's happening. And they're suffering together. It needs to be
and because
elevated.
we feel like, I think even Michelle, like your wife said the other day in the group, she said, you know, you guys were getting to a point, you've got this petition going and you weren't getting the numbers, and you almost, I know you would never give up, but you probably got to this point of like, gosh, we just keep getting to this, you know, dead ends. And all of a sudden, Ashley, one of the girls, was like, hey, let's band together. I just got an Instagram message. Hey, Rochelle, I don't know if you're open to this, but we're making a little video. Would you be part of it? And I'm like, count me in. And I'm like, who can I reach out to? And we were just like, let's go. Because we are all trying to do our little bit, you know, little life, big loss. We do the things after we've lost our child to keep their memory alive, but also like, oh my gosh, and you're correct. I'm the things I do, I create baby loss packs for, I give them to the hospital for when the babies are dying or have died. Here's this ebook I've written for them to read, and here's this podcast that they can listen to so they're not alone. Because I hadn't even considered, how can we stop the babies dying first? Because my experience is, my daughter died from a life-limiting disease that was incurable, was unable to be stopped. However, the trauma from the birth, and that could have been, well, that's a story for another time. Let's not go there. But what I felt in this group, this Louder Together group we've created, is, okay, there is an opportunity to make change. You and your wife are doing an incredible job alone. Let's do it together, if it can be done. And you're showing me personally that it can be. but we've just got to be louder together, but do it smart. You know, in a group chat in Instagram is not going to do it. We need to get it out there. So what I think from here, you know, the next steps are go to your website, sign the petition. I know also when people do it on their phone, this little black thing comes up first. You've just got to cross out of that, sign the petition, go to the email, confirm your signature. That's a really important part. I think we broke the internet the other day. There was a glitch on the petition and everyone couldn't get on there. So I think we broke it, which is amazing. Hence, we got the 2-day extension. Get this signatures done by 10 p.m. tomorrow night. And then from there, then we look at next steps. You know, people are going to go on, they're going to watch your video, they're going to watch a documentary. There's some education there. And then as a group, we are going to be louder and we will all come to Canberra with you and we will do whatever we need to do to help you guys so you don't have to keep doing it alone, because no one wants to be in this shitty group. It is the best group of humans in the shittiest fucking circumstances. And to know that we are all doing it alone because we're just trying to do our bit, it's not working.
No. And that is the next part of this story. Like, we've got some media on board now that will follow the story, and that's what we need. We need them to be part of it now, to watch the petition go through, to put pressure on the government, because the more people we have, the noisier it is. If there's one or two people, you know, looking at silos all over these little mosquitoes making little buzzy noises around, doing their own thing, doesn't work. But if you have the big voice of all coming together, that's what works. And that's what the media love. They love angry mobs. So what we've got here is this big angry mob of people that's not getting listened to. But we have to be, as humans together, come together, work together, take it to the government. We're after the same thing, and they know what we need to do. It's not hard. So we've got all these people. We've got these 6 babies dying every day. We know that we can reduce stillbirth by 20 to 30% if we put measures in place. So that's the story we're going to take from here. So it goes to government. It gets allocated to the health minister. The health minister needs to sit down, listen. They know what they need to do. They've done campaigns before. They know what money needs to be allocated. And it's not just about a campaign. It's about tens of millions of dollars that needs to be allocated to people to continue the research. At this point in time, there's a cliff. At the end of this year, you know, the work that has been done should have been starting to get some results. It hasn't got the results which were not promised, were looked at. So we need to now take this further. We need to allocate the millions of dollars to continue the research, but we need to continue with an amount of money to put a campaign out now for education, because the education part will reduce the stillbirths, the 20 to 30%, to stop joining our shitty club. We can give these people badges. You're not in the club. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
But they're the things, and that's the story we need to follow from here, how it goes.
Yeah.
This is just the build. What we're doing now is the build up. We've woken all these people up, all these angry mums. We've got them all together. And now we have a common goal of going to the government. We need a national campaign. You need to put more funds behind the research into stillbirth again. And it needs to be another 5 or 10 years. This is not going to stop. Measurements need to be put in place. We need to measure how this is working as well. Let's see this 20 to 30% going on. In a year's time, it'd be great that we're having another podcast and we're on the media to say, yes, this group of people here lobbied behind the government. We've got a campaign in place. The numbers are coming down. That's what we need to, and they will happen. The results have shown, the work already been done. So it's a no-brainer. Everybody wins. The government will win. It's, you know, it reduces the pressure on the system. It saves them money.
And because I went to say it before, it's not just they're saving the babies' lives. You're saving the mental health of the parents, you're saving families, you're saving the divorce rate, you're saving, because 85% of marriages don't survive baby loss. That is an actual statistic.
Yeah.
Because, you know, so it's the pressure of everything else that goes on, the legal system, if it is negligence or whatever else it is. It's not just that one baby's life, it is the entire impact it has on families, on homes, on the workforce, everything that comes with a person experiencing baby loss.
So if you look at it in business sense, the economical impact of stillbirth is huge. So it's, as you say, it's 6 families. It's those 2 people that have to go to work the next day. They're going to go to work, but they're not going to be there. I think it's called absenteeism or something. But the law system, it's massive economic pressure. So they're the things. And if you watch the movie, Christina Keneally is part of that. She lobbied for quite a few things when she was the Premier of New South Wales. So she's been through the stillbirth process. Again, she pushed through government, and I've had many conversations with her on how we can get this through, and we have to be noisy on this. So getting us together, as you can see there, 6 families a day. It's heartbreak, and as you can see, you stay in the club for life. You know, it was 24 years ago for us. It was, you know, Celeste's birthday, the 9th of August this year. She would have been 24. It doesn't get any easier. I can tell you that. There's not one day you don't think about our daughter.